and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. We're here on Wacky and Weird Wednesday. All the weird and wacky news you need to hear about to give yourself, excitement about the world and its ever-changing possibilities. This is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we learn to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those wacky headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday, millions of honeybees escape after semi-trailer carrying hives overturns in Texas. And runaway Gold Coast Tasmanian devil Mary recaptured after 2 weeks search in Australia.
And we're going to report on a super colony of ants in Europe that is some 6,000 kilometers long. And Merlin the Duck takes center stage at Mexico's presidential briefing.
Students threatened to reveal teacher's OnlyFans account in order to get better grades, a report says. And the curse of the Ghanaian sorcerer to Harry Kane is completed. I know how to stop him.
And in weird briefings, we have a woman falling down a laundry chute for 10 stories and surviving, and somebody else, another woman in her 30s pretending to be a 12-year-old girl.
In my culture news, Piglet, it's a purple psychedelic shapeshifter. The wild new creature prowling Winnie the Pooh's wood.
And it's National Swim Day. Y'all get out there and get wet. You're going to be sweating anyway, so go swim in the lap while you're in the pool. It's June 24th, 2026 on Before Coffee.
What happened?
Oh, my headphones are way too loud. I don't know when I did that. But...
Oh, maybe I'm just screaming into the mic.
No, everything's... yeah, probably.
Alright, let's roll our first segue wheel for our first news segment here. It's an accurate metaphor simile.
Okay, an accurate metaphor and simile for number one.
Millions of honeybees! This is from David Fisher on The Independent. Millions of honeybees swarmed a rural Texas neighborhood after a semi-trailer transporting approximately 400 hives overturned, authorities confirmed. Emergency officials in Orange County, located east of Houston near the Louisiana border, promptly closed roads Sunday morning, advising residents to remain indoors. Crews were dispatched to unload the damaged trailer and rescue as many hives as possible. No bee stings or serious injuries were immediately reported following the incident. That's good, because some people are allergic. And the owner of the hives has not yet been identified. Well, I mean, it's not their fault that the truck rolled over, right?
The owner of the bees is at blame.
They should have been able to control that. Yeah, why didn't he tell the truck driver?
That's why you hire bonded drivers, because they have insurance.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry.
Christy Ray, proprietor of the local Queen Bee Supply, noted that volunteers from several other beekeeping businesses arrived to assist at the crash site. And then there's a picture of... It looks like the trailer just rolled off into a ditch. So the truck is still on its, like the main truck, you know, where the engine is and everything is still on its wheels, but the trailer is twisted off into the ditch. They just help each other. That's what they do. Oh, wait. This is in Texas. They just help each other. That's what they do, Ray said. The beekeeping community is a great community. Chris Moore, owner of the Moore Honey, along with his son and several employees, joined the effort to help the bees, but he estimated that only about a quarter of the 408 hives will survive. A quarter? That's like 200. They probably got too stressed.
They lose their queen. It's over,
not 200,
like,
sorry. That's 100.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they're about to say that in the article even. It mostly depends on how many queens remain alive after the crash, he said. The potential impact on the beekeeping business following a loss like this depends on the size of the apiary. Moore pointed out that the keeper is losing not only the hives, but also the revenue they could be generating. It's a big loss, Moore said. Anytime you lose that many in one shot, it's a big loss. It's common for a large beekeeping operation to move hives around the country to provide commercial pollination for agriculture in places like California and to follow the blooming season throughout the South and the Midwest for honey production. The hives that crashed this Sunday, which was the 21st of June, had only traveled a few miles on a trip to North Dakota. So they're going from Texas to North Dakota and they crashed in the neighborhood. Wow. What a fucking travesty. When the truck driver took a wrong turn and ended up in a neighborhood with narrow roads, Moore said. The driver was trying to navigate a tight corner when the trailer fell over. Other local keepers have put out catch boxes to collect remaining strays, but it will likely take a while for the insects to clear out of the area, Moore said.
Right.
In April, a crash involving a truck full of bees slowed interstate traffic near Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, we talked about that too. That's why I talked about this. We talked about the last time. It's more common than you think, a giant bee collapse, I guess. But there's your story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, bees, the metaphor for bees. Get busy. Rounding up those bees. Get busy as a bee, rounding up those bees.
Because there's a lot of them.
Don't get a bee in your bonnet, if I wanted to mix them. Don't get a bee in your bonnet about this because, hey, bees are necessary. Although people hate them for some reason.
Yeah, sadly because their population has been so decimated, right? That's why we have to move them around to begin with. Otherwise, you would just already have honeybees. Yeah.
And now that my squash bingo card, I'm talking about my garden. Now that my squash plants bloomed, I don't see any bees. Where the hell did they go? Where the hell did they go, man? I see a few, but there used to be swarming all over the place. And there's flowers.
All the rain, I think they got washed out.
It hasn't been that much rain. It's only 2 days of rain. That's not the answer. It hasn't been that much rain. It's been this way for weeks now. They've just been okay. We're not coming out. I don't understand. Anyway,
maybe you just need more flowers to attract them.
There's plenty of flowers.
Okay, let's go to my next story. More animal news, where we're going to talk about a Tasmanian devil that sparked a 2-week Tasmanian search on the Gold Coast has been found and recaptured. This is by Charmaine Allison on ABC Australia. The marsupial named Mary escaped from her enclosure at Paradise Country on June 2nd by making what staff described as an abnormally large leap. Wildlife staff and specialists had spent the past fortnight searching for the 2-year-old devil, deploying sniffer dogs and thermal drone technology and humane traps in an effort to bring her home safely. Tasmanian devils are really cute. I don't know why they always give it a name like that. I mean, yeah.
Shoot somebody's arm off.
They're devilish. They're like foxes. They're a bit devilish. A spokesperson for Village Roadshow theme park said Mary was found last night in an area of bushland just off Copse Road in Oxenford, less than 2 kilometers from the park. In a statement, the spokesperson said Mary was in an unstable condition when she was found. The team assessed and determined she required veterinary care and rushed her to a specialist veterinary hospital where they were able to stabilize her condition. She probably didn't get enough food and water because she's from a zoo. They're used to a better diet than the wild. The Paradise Country's experienced wildlife team has continued to support and care for Mary, who is currently stable and remaining in the veterinary hospital to allow specialists to conduct further diagnostic testing.
Wow.
I can't do an Australian accent, so the closest thing is a southern one. The search had uncovered several signs suggesting Mary was coping well in the wild. Okay, but then why was she in bad condition? Keepers found devil droppings in nearby bushland and discovered the remains of kangaroo and wallaby carcasses. It was eating kangaroos and wallabies. Damn. Indicating that she had been able to find food while on the run. Captive animal experts had previously noted maybe she ate a bad kangaroo. She got some bad kangaroo. Captive animal experts had previously noted that the surrounding environment provided favorable conditions for a Tasmanian devil to survive. Yeah, I mean, It's not Tasmania, which is a smaller island off of Australia, but it's similar enough environment that they're not going to be completely out of it. Like if it got lost in, I don't know, if it got lost in Wisconsin or something, that'd be a different story. But the University of Queensland adjunct Professor Al Musi said it could take between 24 hours and a week for Mary's condition to improve after roughing it for so long. She's a captain-bred animal, out in the wild between the suburbia and the bushland, and she's got to fend for herself, find her own food, and find water, and find a place to sleep, he said. A Department of Primary Industries, DPI, spokesperson said Mary was not out of the woods yet, but had been receiving the best care possible since she was found at 8:30 p.m. yesterday on the 23rd of June. Following Mary's escape, DPI has conducted an on-site investigation of the premises and is satisfied that the enclosures were already compliant with legislated requirements. Animal Biosecurity General Manager Alison Crook said. Griffith University wildlife researcher Douglas Curlin said Mary could have faced significant dangers while roaming the suburban bushland, including dog attacks and car strikes. They're basically a beautiful evolve to be able to just absolutely demolish a carcass and leave nothing behind, he said. If she found any sort of food, she would have made 100% maximal use of it. Dr. Curlin said veterinarians would focus on assessing Mary's physical condition. They will be doing weight checks and probably look at dehydration, looking to see whether she picked up any neck scratches or bruises during her weeks in the wild, he said. That sounds about right. That's what I would do. I would also be... I'm thinking she just got dehydrated. It's Australia. So, actually, I don't know where the Gold Coast is. So, located
I was looking up
in that area.
People keep Tasmanian devils as pets. They are...
Yeah.
Metaphor for them is they're little thieves, man. They're like crows. They just take stuff and collect it. And it's kind of weird. But I guess that's my metaphor.
Like I said, I think they're a lot like foxes in behavior. That's probably why they're called Tasmanian devil. Okay, it's in Queensland.
Well, one of the things about them is that their jaw crushing power is the most crushing power for a jaw in any mammal.
Yeah, they can destroy an entire...
They can crush bones with their jaws. So yeah, that's pretty... You don't want to get anything bitten by that. So I would imagine they probably watched it eating and said, "Holy fuck, that's a devil. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. Not even the bones." Anyway.
The Gold Coast is situated in obviously in Australia on the south, more like the middle east coast. But it's on the south end of Queensland by Brisbane. So there we go. That's where the Gold Coast is.
I think Tasmania is naturally native to New Zealand anyway. I mean, isn't that...
No, it's native to Tasmania, an actual island off the southern coast of Australia.
But none of them are in New Zealand? They don't have any? Okay, that's weird.
I don't know how... I guess they could have swam there, but it's a long way to swim.
They were part of the same landmass at one time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know the time where mammals were walking the earth.
New Zealand's very volcanic, so a lot of them... Hello. All right, I guess that's my metaphor about them being clever little thieves and about them being jaw-crushing power. My jaw doesn't work. Can't say words.
Our next segue is bad pun for your stories. Also about animals.
Bad pun. Do I have... Okay, yes, I hope so. Well, ants are animals. Space Daily has a story. This person, editorial team. That's a nice name. My name is editorial team. Picture a single society running from Italian Riviera to the Atlantic edge of Spain, its members numbering into billions, none of them ever raising a weapon against each other. That's not a thought experiment about humans. It's a population of ants. In 2002, 3 researchers at the University of Lausanne reported that a single network of Argentine ant nests stretched at least 6,000 kilometers along the Mediterranean and Atlantic coast of southern Europe. Tatiana Gerard, Jess S. Peterson, and Laurent Keller documented a Maine supercolony of millions of nests of billions of workers, a cooperative movement that they described as astonishing in scale. What makes the European super colony so strange, it is not just its size, it is the peace. In their native South America, Argentine ants behave like most ants. Neighboring colonies fight, and colonies stay small and on the order of a few meters or a few kilometers across. That's why they never cooperate enough to create a super colony. But this one does something different. These ones do something different. Workers pulled these nests from hundreds of kilometers apart with no shared recent ancestors to speak of, meet and groom and pass food rather than tear each other apart. Yeah, you're not a stranger. I recognize you from the Johnson clan. Yeah, you're the 8th generation of Johnson clan. By golly.
The ants are going to take over after we're all gone. Already making communities.
Oh, yeah. I look forward to coming back in 10,000 years and there's giant ants everywhere just telling everybody what to do. That's right. That's right, motherfuckers. We got 8 legs and we ain't taking no shit from any of you.
They can probably lift an entire building with that kind
no shit.
They get that big.
Exactly. Right. That's right. We got exoskeletons. Fuck you. Anyway, the Louisiana team, I was just saying, insects are the future. If you don't feel that way, I don't know what to tell you. You probably should start eating them before they start eating us. Louisiana team puts numbers. There you go. They are going to eat us eventually. I mean, that is the cycle of life. There is no top to the food chain. In case anybody's wondering about that, there's no top. We're in it. It's a chain. It just keeps going. It's a cycle. You cannot avoid becoming food. You become ashes, and ashes eventually become food too. So there, they just become part of the soil. Louisiana team put numbers to it by collecting ants from sites along the coast and staging encounters between them. Workers in the same super colony showed no aggression towards one another, even when separated by huge distances in genetic differentiation. Love that word. Differentiation. Mixed workers from 2 different super colonies, though, and the result is lethal. The truce holds inside the network and stops hard on its edge. Oh, you're a commie! Get out of here, you commie ant! No, you're a capitalist pig! That's what they're doing. It's like humans. The European finding raises a question that sounds philosophical, but turns out to be biological. At what point does a sprawling web of cooperating individuals stop being a population and become a single society? Biologist Mark Moffat. He has 2 F's and 2 T's. One unnecessary F and one unnecessary T. Mark Moffat. His answer turns on growth, Moffat wrote, and the capacity for unrestricted growth is a defining characteristic of a super colony. That's right. A normal ant colony has a ceiling. A super colony does not. Why does it collapse? Because the freaking queen dies or an invasive species gets in and starts wiping you out. The super colonies probably have massive defense systems built up, I imagine. That capacity for essentially unlimited scale shows up only in a handful of ant species and in one animal, humans. The comparison is what gives the European super colony its claim to be the 2nd largest cooperative society on the planet. We are a cooperative society, whether we admit it or not. All these wars, put aside all these wars, we can talk around the world right now for one reason. We cooperate. That's the only fucking reason humans are successful. Learn it. Know it. And it grew larger still. A later study traced the connections beyond Europe. Behavioral tests and chemical analysis showed that the biggest European, Californian, and Japanese super colonies recognize one another as nestmates, linking them into one intercontinental society. Ellen Van Willenberg, Candace Torres, and Neil Sutsui concluded that the intercontinental network is the most popular known animal society. Super colony is not engineered, it is a byproduct of human shipping. This is interesting. The super colony was not engineered as a byproduct of human shipping, which carried a South American ant around the world and on the working hypothesis narrowed its recognition system down to a single shared signal somewhere along the way. So these ants are not native to Europe. That's why they're called Argentine ants. I kind of figured out at the start, but they should have told us that. They're kind of invasive. Okay, then. There are 5. Okay, that's the end. That's the end of your ant story. And I'm antsy with anticipation for your answer. Oh, boy. I just closed my other story.
What's 5 plus 5 ants?
I don't know.
10 ants in Spain.
Oh, I gotcha. 10 ants in Spain.
You know what it is? You know what you call it when you bring ants from one country to another?
Exporting?
Important.
Ah! Got more?
It's so easy because ant is like an ending, yeah.
And let me get back to the story I just closed because I'm an idiot. What was I doing?
You have a lot of
here?
audacity to talk about ants like that. Pretty gallant of you.
Gallant. I see.
It's so easy. There's so many words with ant at the end.
I'm still trying to look for my story that I just closed. Where is it?
Recently closed tabs.
Yeah, I know I'm doing it, but
Let's point yours.
Sent mails. And Merlin the Duck. That was my second one. Okay, we're on to it. We're going to talk about Mexico. And we're hosting the World Cup, so I think there's probably a press conference that took place yesterday or the day before. I'm waiting for the story to load. Internet just said, fuck you, I ain't working. Hell with you. I quit. All right, here we go. Here we go. Story loading. Merlin the Duck takes center stage at Mexico's presidential palace, is AP News. No byline name. Wearing the green jersey of Mexico's national soccer team and a FIFA tie, as you know, FIFA passing out the bribe money, he waddled into the room ahead of President Claudia Sheinbaum, took a seat facing reporters, and quickly became the star of her Monday morning news briefing. So maybe we can watch that video, huh? Maybe I'll download that video for you. Merlin the Duck, dressed in the Mexican national team soccer jersey. Mexico's unofficial World Cup mascot didn't take any questions. His owner, Carla Gomez, did that for him. Gomez, a street vendor who sells water and soft drinks, has introduced her family with pride and determination, presenting them as a representative of countless other working-class Mexicans. We are the working part of Mexico, she said, sitting beside the lectern with Merlin at the center. Were her sons, Carlos and Christian, Carlos 22, Christian 14, who doesn't rest after school and helps her every day by selling goods and carrying packages. Put that kid to work. Merlin, he said, is the boss of our little business. He's one who follows behind us, making sure we're working and doing things the right way. The family takes great care with his diet, feeding him with small fish, crickets on Sundays, even a meat taco on Sunday. Yeah, it's Taco Sunday for Merlin.
Taco Sunday.
So we have a duck. I got to watch this press conference now. It's been the best thing that had happened to us in this life, she said, though she noted that other ducks in the family had owned also became local celebrities in Mexico's historic center, including Bruna, who wore tennis shoes. Tennis shoes for a duck? No way. Gomez says she believes her family went viral because people saw them as a hardworking family, a family that gets up every day to make ends meet. Here's an end, here's another end, they meet. The president eventually had to cut off questions to move the news conference along, but not before trying to pet Merlin and posing for a photo with the family. The scene had barely ended when the social media filled with criticism of the president's decision to welcome the duck while relatives of missing persons who have been demonstrating and seeking a face-to-face meeting with the start of the World Cup remain unheard. Of course, critics are going to do that. Wildlife advocates also warned that the popularity of pets like Merlin can have unintended consequences. In a Facebook post, the Wildlife Rehabilitation Unit of Pachuca, a city about 90 kilometers north of Mexico City, cautioned that fame can fuel impulse purchases and abandonment. Animals do not need owners for affection. They need responsible caretakers. So just in case this person thinks that everybody's going to run out and buy a duck that they can't take care of. And I just want to remind people, you have no idea what a duck does to your house or your yard or anything. So don't buy a duck if you have no fucking idea what you're doing. I don't think anybody's going to go out and buy a duck, right? Unless they're going to eat it. That's what's going to happen. That's the problem. That's the best part about a duck, right? If you don't, it's a shitty pet, but hey, tasty. And there you go. And if you're worried about your neighbors eating your pets, maybe you don't have a pet duck. That's another thing, right? If you're in, they're eating the dogs city. Remember that one? After the election? Oh, Trump. Oh, yeah, they're eating the dogs. Well, they're eating the duck. Ducks are food. Dogs aren't. I mean, at least in the United States. Mm-hmm. But there's a story on the cute little duck stealing the show at the press conference. And, of course, everybody mad about something. Because we got to be mad in this world. Otherwise, you're not a human, I guess.
Sounds like he was just ducking around.
Yeah, ducks and ants, two of the easiest puns to come up with in the world, along with whales, I suppose, or monkeys. There's just so many good jokes you can do with animals.
They didn't want to ruffle any feathers at that press conference. But it sounds like it was a waddle of fun.
Waddle of fun. Waddle of fun. Oh.
It's yeah, give me some easy ones.
I hope somebody paid their bill. I don't know.
We should ponder about the next duck visit.
It's all puns. It's all pun jokes. Because it's a duck. And ducks are in every joke. There's so many duck jokes. Everybody, one of the most popular animals in a joke, and I don't know why. I had no idea.
Ducks are funny.
And they're always cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Donald Duck, Daffy Duck. There's no Gary Goose, Freddie
gooses
Falcon.
Are angry. Ducks don't attack you like geese and swans do. That's for sure.
Ducks have a personality, I'm pretty sure. But I think all animals do. It's just got to get to know them. They got to open up to you.
I'm not a humanist. I believe animals are just as conscious as humans.
Oh, yeah.
Our next segue is Limerick.
Limerick. So, oh, no. I got to work.
2 stories here. Yep. Sorry. The first story is going to be about students blackmailing their teacher because she has OnlyFans. This is from Jasmine Fernandez. A former Georgia high school biology teacher may have been blackmailed by students who wanted better grades after she allegedly had sex with them, reports claim. What? Paris Nichols, 25, this is Wacky and Weird News, who taught at Alexander High School in Douglasville, Georgia, allegedly had sex with a student on April 23rd inside a classroom closet and again on May 2nd inside a car, according to initial arrest warrants reported by 11 Alive and Atlanta News First. However, new search warrants obtained by Atlanta News First claimed that Nichols also had sex with a second student on May 3rd and sent inappropriate photos and videos to multiple other students. As footage of the encounters began to circulate among the student body, police say some students attempted to blackmail Nichols for higher grades and threatened to leak her videos from her OnlyFans account, Atlanta News First reports. Investigators reported finding inappropriate messages on Nichols' phone, including a video of her having sex with a student, the report added, which is definitely not allowed on OnlyFans, by the way. You definitely can't post that. It remains unclear. I don't know why you're keeping the footage. Maybe this is a great example of somebody causing everyone else to have a negative experience, right? One fucked up person does this. It remains unclear if any students will face charges for the alleged blackmail. The Independent has contacted the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. The Independent has contacted the Douglas County Sheriff's Office for more information. In case anyone's curious, because this is in Georgia and this is in Atlanta, it is a...
So what really
It's a white woman. So, just in case anyone was thinking it's a white woman. The updates come as prosecutors filed a motion on Friday, the 19th of June, asking a judge to revoke Nichols' bond. Yeah, she can't be out on bond. She might just be sexing up the whole neighborhood. As reported by CBS News, prosecutors state that a compliance report showed Nichols violated her bond conditions 85 times in a 27-day period, committing 38 home curfew violations and 47 inclusion zone violations by traveling to retail stores and fast food restaurants. Nichols was first arrested May 8th and released on a $40,000 bond, at which point the Douglas County school system stated it was deeply troubled and cooperating fully with law enforcement, according to a report previously by The Independent. Following further investigation, authorities arrested Nichols again on May 20th. She now faces 2 counts of child molestation, 4 counts of improper sexual contact by an employee, 4 counts of grooming a minor, and 1 count of tampering with evidence. After her second arrest, Nichols was granted a $74,000 bond that restricted her from internet use, social media, and contact with minors other than her 6-year-old daughter. She has children, and she's doing this. Ugh. And she needs to go to therapy. I don't know. There's something wrong with you mentally. I'm just saying, there's something wrong with you mentally if you do all of this. In the motion to revoke that bond, prosecutors argued that Nichols' repeated violations under active electronic monitoring demonstration. She poses a significant threat to the community. Okay, well, I think that's a bit ridiculous. She didn't stay in her house after grooming, that I agree. But she's no longer a teacher. She's been fired, right? I don't think she's a threat to somebody at McDonald's because she
I don't know.
is a
She might
sex
be
pest. I don't know.
Necrophiliac. I'm not necrophiliac. What do they call what do they call somebody who can't get enough? Nymphomaniac, that's it. Maybe she's necrophiliac too.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I'm not gonna say random shit about her. I'm just saying, I don't think somebody being a sex pest is not doing it at McDonald's, right? But sure. According to the judge, or people, or I don't even know who said this. Okay, the prosecutors, so not the judge, but the prosecutors said that she poses a significant threat to the community and risk reoffending or intimidating witnesses, CBS News reported. So they're saying that she's probably following the kids who blackmailed her or the kids that she assaulted and molested and said, hey, you better not say anything or I'll beat you up. So I guess that could be happening. A court hearing on the motion is scheduled for next week. So I guess it seems like she's pretty guilty, sadly. I mean, I'm not nowhere close to this case, so I don't probably have to worry about it, but looking at the evidence, right, you can be guilty of being a sex pest and also a victim of blackmail. You can do both. It's both is possible. So, was she being blackmailed? Probably. Did she have sex with minors? Yes. I mean, she has a video. I don't know why people do this. I don't know why people do. I'm gonna do something illegal and keep it on my phone. What about just have it for the memories, It's in your brain. Just remember it for think of it fondly. Or whatever. I don't
have a limb,
agree
right?
with any of this thing. Okay, good. I was hoping you had a limit because I didn't want to. None of this is good, yeah.
It makes other again, I always these juvenile men I deal with sometimes in message boards when they see a story like that. All right, the greatest teacher in the world, she has sex with the students. So that's the worst teacher in the world. She set every expectation out for every teacher. Every teacher in the world is, I have to have sex with that teacher, I can get a good grade. That's why they're bad teachers. Yeah. So.
And also, it gives bad press to OnlyFans, which already gets enough bad press. So it's like, teachers on OnlyFans are gonna, just choose a choice. Make a choice. Either be an OnlyFans creator or be a teacher. You can't do both. Sadly, that's the society we live in.
Yeah, because we got a guy at the top of our government that sets the example for being a pedophile, so we can't even go there for guidance.
Exactly.
Our limerick. Hit the books, you silly kids. You don't study and you spend all night looking at vids. But our teacher is cool. She keeps us after school, taking notes on how to put your career on skids. It is down.
Yeah. I'm never gonna have I'm gonna be a really you don't learn anything and then you are a terrible worker, I guess, in the future.
Well, I'm sure OnlyFans pays well. I don't know.
I mean, it's her only choice now. She can never get a job as a teacher.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I guess
she's probably going to go to jail. To be fair, she's going to go to jail.
She might be able to plea bargain.
No, I mean, in the story, she was basically breaking her bond all the time. So the prosecutors are basically saying we should get her for jail time because she can't even stay in her house. Like, they gave her a curfew for a bond, and then she can't even do that much. So, maybe she needs to be locked up. I think it's what they're going to push for. That's all.
She'll say she likes sex, but she doesn't like bondage. I love my puns. Anyway, next spin. Anyway.
No, next story, because I have another story. This story is coming from... Oh, I'm on the wrong computer. First of all.
A limerick for... I have to use a whole
you probably can't write a limerick for this story. It's so short. But the curse of the Ghanaian sorcerer. You better start writing really fast, because this is a very short story.
Well, read slow then.
There's nothing to read slow. It's one paragraph. This is from Nane? Nana? Oh, no, sorry. I don't know who this is from, but this is on marca.com, which is a Spanish paper. Nana Kwaku Bonsam, a well-known Ghanaian healer, said he was going to stop the striker. Oh, sorry, here it is. Marcos del Baño is the author. England drew 0 against Ghana for a curse. Nana Kwaku Bonsam, one of the most famous sorcerers in the African country, said, according to statements collected by the Daily Star a couple of days ago, that she was using her powers to stop top English goal scorer in a match against her team. I'm working on Harry Kane. I've shown what I'm capable of before, so I know what work I need to do to stop it. And then the healer used her power to try to get the English battering ram to miss the meeting in front of his country. I don't wish him a serious injury. It will be just enough to stop him against my country. I will do my job so that I can help Ghana, she said. This kind of prophecy has been fulfilled. And although the player has not suffered any injuries, the truth is he did not have his night and forgave. This is badly translated. I don't know. Forgave several times. The 1-0. They didn't score, I guess, is what the bad translation is trying to say. Harry Kane is also a Christian, which I don't know why that's being mentioned, but or maybe the sorcerer is Christian? I don't know. It just says he was also a Christian. That's all it says. One sentence. Nana Kwaku Bonsam, also known as Wednesday's Devil, claimed to have caused Cristiano Ronaldo's knee injury in 2014 World Cup. However, the Portuguese ended up playing the match against Ghana in the group stage and in fact scored the goal of the victory in 80 minutes. In the final minutes of the match between England and Ghana, Harry Kane had a very clear opportunity to make a goal that would have given England the lead. It was the 86th minute at the Boston Gillette Stadium when Harry Kane controlled a dead ball in the heat of the area, but his shot went to the clouds. With this result, England is still in first place, but Ghana would be much closer to the next phase. Magic, curse, or just failure, but Kane did not live his best night. I love how controlled a dead ball in the heart of the area is highlighted for some reason. I wonder if there was more news on this story, but it's just a small, short, weird news about...
His name was Harry Kane? Okay.
Harry Kane.
Rhymes with Spain. Luckily for you, it rhymes with Spain, and it ties it up nicely, so...
Are you done? Did you finish?
Yes.
In time?
There once was a man from Spain who always liked to complain about football in games. He wants everyone the same, and he believes he controls Harry Kane. There you go.
A different Spanish sorcerer. I shall curse you. I don't. Yeah.
I control
we
your
talked about
foot.
this.
Not your hands, just your foot.
Before the show started, but you don't need to curse England. They'll lose anyways. don't worry about it.
Yeah, it wasn't only. Well, it's like there's the curse on the Boston Red Sox for Babe Ruth from 1920. I'm like, yeah, really? And that's not all the bad moves they made or that crappy stadium they won't tear down. It's some curse. Yeah. If you don't know, Boston has a left field wall. It's called the Green Monster. It's a really tall wall, but it's really, really close. And all you got to do is hit a high fly ball and you get a home run. So that's their fault for doing that
No, I do know all about that because there's a game called Fallout 4, which takes place in Boston in a post-apocalyptic, and they make the entire stadium. Yeah, they make the whole stadium a town to live in, and then there's a quest in the game where you have to go some green paint to paint the wall.
Oh, that's fitting. Not to paint the reflecting pool, but to paint the wall. All right, let's
next segue.
Let's have R2 as I talk about my compendium of small stories, which I'm going to skip around in as some of these are actually reported on already.
Now it's time for me to write a limerick. We've got a limerick off. Who writes the best limericks?
Oh boy, just
let us know in the comments below.
Okay, so let's do this story. Let's do a compendium of stories or lead stories that this is UPIexpress.com or uexpress.com, sorry. The editors at Andrews McMeel Syndication. Visitors of the Foundation Baylor, an art museum in Switzerland, recently had the option to pursue an art while wearing only bathing suits. Yahoo News reported on May 1st, this goes a while back. It's rather unusual experience that one visitor in a colorful sequin bikini, knowing that you're always looking to see if other visitors are wearing swimwear. Yes, you're going to an art museum and you got to wear swimwear. You don't have to. The option is just wear basically nothing except your Speedos, I suppose. It is Europe, right? Visitors could change their bathing suits in rooms at the museum, or they could show up in their one-piece bikini or trunks and have only one entry fee waived. Some roamed around barefoot, others donned swimming caps. A few could be found sunbathing in the museum's garden. Italian artist Maurizio Catalan, who headed up the project, was inspired by artist Paul Cézanne's paintings of people bathing. You can feel from the Cézanne painting that he wants to be inspired by nature and expose that organic experience of nature of the people. Ana Lopez, a 34-year-old architect, said, dressing in swimwear is close to that because you're almost naked. Says Ana Lopez, who, let's get Ana Lopez's phone number because he sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, that's your story about that. Your short little blurb.
That was quick.
I said they're blurbs. And here's another story. The headline says, unclear to concept. Anton Gilona, 25, of New York, was arrested driving while intoxicated when he drove up to the local police station to pick up a friend who had been arrested for driving while intoxicated. So that's not a cool thing. That's not even funny, man. Venus Mayhew, we can skip over that one. That was kind of a sad one. Venus Mayhew, 45, of Dixon, Maine, was arrested for calling 911 4 times to request a beer delivery. That's right. WGME reported on May 7th, I was drunk and I was trying to be funny, Mayhew said. Not funny. You're wasting time. Somebody's dying and you're tying up a phone line, asshole. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office was not amused. This was a serious matter. No shit. This is Maine. Of course, Penobscot is a river. One of your main rivers. Just wanted to point that out. I was at Penobscot. I thought this was, for some reason, I thought it was Illinois. Let me slow down so you can write your limerick. Mayhew is charged with assault and says that part didn't happen. Video recorded by Mayhew's daughter shows a physical altercation with police, but a few seconds are out of frame with differing accounts of what transpired. Police say Mayhew attempted to put one of them in a headlock. Mayhew denies it. He was released from Penobscot County Jail after posting a $150. Do not get drunk and intentionally engage the police. Not a plan. What is wrong with you? Anyway, Jericho High School. Here's some fun high school stuff, I guess. Jericho High School is in Nassau County, Long Island, will not have 2, but 21 valedictorians to represent the 300 seniors. That's right, graduating in June. Yeah, well, it's almost as big as your class.
Wasn't my class 1,000? No, 1,000 would have been too much.
Nah, it was about 350, 400.
But we only had one valedictorian, so I don't know. Yeah, weird. Yeah.
That's what they're doing. Yeah. The school determines valedictorians based on unweighted letter grades. It shows a lot of success, co-principal Brian Cummings said. Historically, as waves done, the difference between 99.8 and 99.83 is insignificant. So letter grades really capture what we represent. With such a large number of valedictorians, not all of them will be able to give a commencement speech. I would hope not. People would just leave after the third one. I was like, fuck this. I ain't sitting here all day. It's freaking July or June or whatever. What month is it? Anyway, June. Actually, the story's from May. We're going to put them at the front of the procession. We're also creating a video that we're going to share with the community about their accomplishments. There you go. There's your fun little story about that. Another fun little story, and this is from Perth, Australia. We're going back to Australia. A man who purchased a bag of greens from Woolworths. Woolworths is still a thing in Australia. Holy shit. Woolworths is not a thing in America anymore.
It's still a thing in the UK, isn't it? That's
where it's from. Woolworths in this century. I've not seen a Woolworths. Anyway, from Woolworths and I used to go there as a kid all the time. We called it the dime store. Is what we called it. We didn't call it Woolworths. In fact, we had two dime stores. There was the Woolworths, which we called the new dime store, and the one next to it, McClellan's, which smelled like popcorn and old wood, called the old dime store. A man who purchased a bag of greens at Woolworths in Western Australia found more green than expected inside. The Australian man discovered a small frog in the leaves. Did we report on this? Yeah, we did. We did this one. Skipping it.
Yeah, I do remember talking about the frog in the salad.
Yep. Here's one more. An Atlanta neighborhood is dealing with an unusual kind of pest. Empty Waymo vehicles. Autonomous driverless cars owned by Alphabet Inc. circling cul-de-sacs. Hey, there's a car outside. It won't shut down. ABC News reported on May 15th. I think yesterday morning we had 50 cars that came through between 6 and 7. 6 and 7. There you go, that thing. It's almost every little cul-de-sac in our area, so I think it's a problem. Said another. The glut of robo-taxis worries residents. We're families. We all have small animals and pets. We got kids. Getting on the bus in the morning, it just doesn't feel safe to have that traffic, one resident said. One neighbor even tried putting up her own sign to deter the vehicles. They can't read, lady. But it caused traffic jam of Waymos turning around to get up. Oh, maybe they can read. Okay, never mind. As well as Waymo stuff. In a state that Waymo, yeah, they just take a picture and says, that says something. Waymo says it is committed to be good neighbors. We take this community's feedback seriously, and we have really worked our fleet partner to address routing behavior. There's a quick rundown of our first blurb. And
all right, here we go then. Here's some limericks.
Okay. All right.
In Switzerland's garden so green, artists bask where the sun's gently seen. In the swimsuits they lay as the warm sunbeams play, embracing the organic serene.
What the hell? My soundboard. I just click on something and it just closed. What the hell? Soundboard's broken again.
In Maine's quiet streets, hope was strained. Respect for the lost deeply ingrained. No laughter to share, just a weight in the air. In remembrance, their spirits remained. Oh, no beer for you. I thought it was hilarious. In the school where the smart kids convene, 21 valedictorians, a scene. With diplomas in hand, they took a bold stand. Oh, no, there's another one after this one. And bragged about their trophies so keen. Look at that. That was a reference. It looked like a participation trophy. Look how great we are. In a cul-de-sac, Waymo would roam, but their navigation felt like a poem. As they spin round and round, in a loop they were bound. Stuck in the zone they called home. I guess we're living here now. I hope there's charging stations in that cul-de-sac.
Maybe they got solar panels. I would have solar panels on my living.
Another story.
No, that's it, man. That was a bunch of blurbs. So,
oh, okay. I thought you were reading more.
I'll be looking up the story. Nah, that was way too many. It was like 4, wasn't it? I have to find me a video. Let me on. And I'm gonna shut off my mic.
Associate is your next segue. This culture segment is coming from the 100 Acre Wood from Patrick Barkman on The Guardian. Is it an alien? A dinosaur? Is it going to kill us all? Ashdown Forest for the big 100 celebration and finds a magic enchanting new generation of, I guess, psychedelic purple shapeshifters. The rolling idol of heath and forest, spinney and stream that gave the heffalump, the woozle, and most famously all, Winnie the Pooh, is a new fantastical resident. Creeping through the bracken, making strange cooing and purring noises, is a shape-shifting creature with a huge tubular nose and eyes inspired by adders. It shimmers with iridescent patches and the psychedelic purple of flowering heather in high summer. Poppet, a puppet made by costume designer Jack Irving and brought to the life by a team of 10 award-winning puppeteers, is performing for school children in Ashdown Forest, East Sussex. The primary school class squeal with delighted fear as the purple apparition transforms itself from a caterpillar to bird to a munching monster in sinuous moves. What is it? It's an alien! They are dinosaurs, dragons! We're going to die! The children don't sound very scared, and Papa is more interested in devouring gorse and bracken than the young humans, who are all too rarely found playing in the forest in the modern era. This spectacular puppet is the centerpiece of the forest's Big 100 celebrations, a free festival commemorating a century of Winnie the Pooh, the story that brought to life and probably saved the largest patch of open countryside in southeast England. The puppet and the festival have been created by Trigger, an outdoor arts charity that has dreamed up similarly epic performances, puppets such as the Hatchling, a human-operated dragon the size of a double-decker bus that led Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee in 22. And there's purpose behind the performance, to encourage children and especially families not so familiar with the countryside to connect with the wonders of the wild, free nature, similar to those people in Switzerland, I guess. I love these deep, mystical ideas that come to you in childhood and you can't shake, and you're magnetized to visit these places. Putting a narrative onto a natural landscape gives it a mystical edge, says Angie Wall, creative director of Trigger, who collaborated with the local schoolchildren to devise Poppet. This is the first time Wall has seen Poppet in action in Ashdown Forest. Theatre and outdoor art really can change a place, change memory of a place, and change value of a place. To have the puppet in this beautiful landscape, it looks so much better than on stage, but also makes the landscape change. If you think about Winnie the Pooh's toys, that's what Christopher Robin was doing. He put his toys against the tree and then the story just unfolds. Having something different in a natural space gives it that magic. A.A. Milne has done more to anyone to imbue the 25,000 hectare Ashdown Forest with magic. The author of Winnie the Pooh may have been a superlative comic writer whose Pooh, Piglet, and Friends are an enduring delight for children of all ages and century on, but together with illustrator E.H. Shepard, he also evoked the beauty of the landscape where he lived and roamed with his son, Christopher Robin. Later in life, Christopher Robin returned to Ashdown Forest when it was under threat in the 1980s and helped save it. With the extensive heath owned by local council, and like many commons, managed by a committee of conservators, a common and nature reserve today. The fact that the hill and heaths of Ashdown Forest would be recognizable to Milnes is remarkable when London is 35 miles away and the southeast has witnessed such an intensive development over the past century. Its heaths are still home to something special, including the silver-studded blue butterfly, adder, nightjar, and Dartford warbler. First bird heard calling when you arrive is a cuckoo, all too rare in the southern England today. And then there's a picture of A.A. Milne with Christopher Robin. Another rarity is children playing in the forest. Unaccompanied roaming in nature is not part of a modern childhood. Rather than simply recreating a nostalgic yearning for Christopher Robin's lost 1920s upbringing, the Big 100 looks forward, seeking to spark new stories and ignite new connections with the natural world. There are Ashdown attractions that directly serve Winnie the Pooh's fans, including the Pooh Corner coffee shop, the Pooh Sticks Bridge, and guided walks, creating a 100th anniversary celebration directly derived from Milne and Shepard's felt too rigid, says Ball. Young people are ready for a different story. If you really want that to happen, doing a Beatrix Potter style event won't really captivate these people and get a diverse audience. Poppet's performances in the forest see it shift through a carousel of natural creatures. As Ball puts it, from a caterpillar to a crab to a bird and then plant. Creating a completely different creature is quite hard to do. Not simply have a head of a bird and the tail of an adder, she says. I was having somewhat trippy dreams last night because of thinking of it. She and Trigger were determined to create an open-ended character upon which children could project their own fantasies. The improvisation of the mind can take over. For Bowl, such a character or spectacle in nature can help people notice more natural marvels around them. Nature has to compete with bowling, swimming, climbing. It's quiet, it's difficult, it's subtle. We know it does so much for our well-being and restoring our batteries, but it's so polite about it. It's easy to forget when you're away from it, she says. We're just giving it a bit of a boost. Another way Ashdown Forest has changed since Christopher Robin's childhood is that many more trees have grown up in the heathland. It has changed from 90% open heath to 60%, with a decline in traditional livestock grazing by commoners. By commoners! Not a British thing to say. People love trees in Beth Morgan, head of engagement and development at Ashdown Forest, says one of the biggest challenges cutting down some of the new trees to maintain the lowland heath, an increasingly rare habitat upon which species such as nightjar and Dartford warbler depend. They often get the question, where are all the trees? Why are you taking the trees out or the ghosts out? When you explain to people, they usually understand. The ongoing engagement with visitors so they know why we're doing what we're doing is so important. Yes, a forestry is very important. Otherwise you get fires and then you burn the whole forest down. And so Poppet's performance includes a gentle educational element. The monster eats gorse and bracken and the audience will be able to feed it. The puppet will imbue what is a fairly mundane conservation message with a sense of excitement, hopes Ball. When you have a playful creature embodying the need to control gorse and bracken, you've got the message. Ashdown Forest has 1.5 million visitors each year, but is widely recognized that the visitors from deprived inner cities and communities of color are less likely to frequent the British countryside. Alongside Poppet, the Big 100 celebrations created by Trigger included a set of badges for children to collect by participating in nature-based activities, alongside crafting, storytelling, and yoga. Transport is being provided to bring global majority groups and disabled-led groups to the forest. As British Asian Ball says, she's aware that spending time in nature is not just instilled in everyone's culture. When she goes for a country ramble with her dad, she says he's always asking, where is it? Or where is the coffee shop? Sometimes you need a destination or an event like this, and then you can go down a path and remember that there is fun and joy being had everywhere. That was what Christopher Robin's original experience was. Will the Christopher Robins of the future protect these precious places? It needs passion. It needs you to feel like the space belongs to you, for you to really want to save it. Ball hopes the mystical, perplexing Poppet will ensure children experience the kind of super joy in nature that will motivate them to nurture it for the next century. When the puppet came into the forest today, the kids screamed with laughter and emotion. We are telling kids that nature means happy, happy, happy. Culture is a quick way to make you sure you have a great time today. Those kids will now know they love Ashdown Forest. That's what makes a place like this a natural treasure and a local treasure, as this belongs to me. It's an emotional anchoring. And what does Ball think Winnie the Pooh would make of Poppet the puppet? I think he'd be wise about it, she smiles. He'd tell Piglet that he knew all about it all along. The Big 100 is a series of free cultural events at Ashdown Forest from the 18th to the 19th of July. That's not long enough. It needs to be way longer. Then touring to Hailsham Town Centre on the 26th of July. Sheffield Park and Garden 1 August. Uckfield's Weald on the Field on August 8th. And Hurst Monsieur Castle on the 22nd and 23rd of August. So it's happening, I guess, all June, all July, all August. You can go there, catch an event if you happen to be there in one of these weeks where they're doing an event and celebrate nature, Christopher Robin, and 100 years of saving a forest. You're still muted.
Sorry, I was doing some coughing. You may have heard some of it. Anyway, yes, I will associate this with my childhood. What else can I do but associate it with my childhood? I did not know as a child, a small child, a preschooler, probably third grade maybe, before I even heard of Winnie the Pooh. And the only reason I ever heard of Winnie the Pooh is because of a song by the Dirt Band. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band had a song called "The House at Pooh Corner," and the chorus went back to the days of Christopher Robin. It's a whimsical song about childhood, and it's like it was written by Kenny Loggins. If you're Kenny Loggins wrote it when he was a child. Like he was in high school, he wrote it, right? So Kenny Loggins wrote this song that I did not know who Winnie the Pooh was. And again, I feel cheated. I felt cheated at the age of like 9 or whatever it was, 1978, 7 or 8, whatever. I felt cheated because I didn't know what Winnie the Pooh was. So I would go to the library, they didn't even have books. In grade school, you couldn't go to the regular library, right? Kids couldn't go in the high school library. So you had your little library in the corner, and there was no Winnie the Pooh books.
They didn't have Winnie the Pooh. That's crazy. Yeah.
So I didn't have a Winnie the Pooh. I was just so curious about Winnie the Pooh. So I would just like associate with it. When I had kids, I made sure that they knew Winnie the Pooh. Isn't that weird, huh? So your life is different because of that. Because
it is. I loved watching those films on VHS.
I wanted to learn myself. Because I never had it as a kid. I was totally in the dark about what the hell is he singing about? What's this about? And my sisters go, "Oh, it's about Winnie the Pooh." I was like, "What the fuck is Winnie the Pooh?" I didn't say that, but the 5-year-old version of it. I remember 7. Well, it was probably 7 when that song came out. 7 or 8, probably.
That's so sad. Yeah.
It's not sad. It's just, you can call it sad. Maybe you can cry over it. But the thing is, hey, at least you got to figure out the hell Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore. I know what Eeyore was. I knew what Tigger was.
My life would be very different if I didn't have Winnie the Pooh in my life. It's definitely a fundamental memory for me.
Right. Hold on a second. I got a question. When did Tigger join the cast?
Wasn't it like the second book?
Yeah. But the Tigger movie, what year was it on TV?
Oh, I don't know. I think all those things.
It was in the 70s sometimes. But I know.
That's not when he joined the cast. That's just when he had his existential crisis.
August. Oh, come on. The Tigger movie, not. I have to do Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too, because they made a Tigger movie. Sorry.
Did they?
When did? Yes, they did in 2005. Now, come on, let's go. I specifically called out the movie. 1975 is the first time I saw Winnie the Pooh in any form, because we didn't have the internet, right? We didn't have the internet. We didn't have more than 3 channels. We didn't have PBS in our house in 1975 because you needed a UHF antenna to get
terrible.
it.
I shouldn't say it's terrible, but
I don't think my dad explained it to me properly and didn't understand it. But I think it was the easiest thing in the world to put a UHF antenna on the back of your television. It picked up frequencies clearer because it's higher. Anyway, on to the date. It was November 28th, 1975. It was broadcast on NBC. So that was the first time I ever saw anything to do with Winnie the Pooh. And it was all about Tigger. So naturally, Tigger's my favorite.
Tigger is the best.
Definitely.
He's a fun-loving character.
That's right. I grew up impersonating Tigger. Didn't really care about doing Winnie the Pooh, but I did. By 1975, you know how old I was. I was almost 13. A little bit too old for Winnie the Pooh, but I was just curious about it. I said, Tigger's funny as hell. I want to watch more of this, as 13. And I never got over cartoons. So, and again, there is a little bit of adult humor in there, if you notice, but you don't know.
I've never noticed it. Yeah.
Always, there's adults assuming that kids aren't going to get it, but there was a lot of it, especially Pink Panther and when I was a kid, Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle is full of innuendo. That's right, man. Growing up as a kid, man, we had the cartoons on Saturday morning. If you overslept or missed them, that's tough shit. That's it. You ain't getting no cartoons the rest of the week, right? TV's going to be on my shit, Dad said. We got one TV.
I paid for the TV. Oh, no, maybe you didn't. Maybe you did pay for it.
Imagine the wide wonder in my eyes watching Winnie the Pooh for the first time on a color television, of all things. Yeah, we didn't get color television in 1974. My God, You wouldn't have color television till 1970. That's right. I was fully in my teens before we had a color television. That's the world. That's how it works.
Our next segue is accurate metaphor or simile for this day in history.
As I get whimsical. Accurate metaphor, you say. And that's your last segment. I just write accurate for this because I already know what it means. Shorthand. Yes, we're going to do this day in history. National Day, this day in history. This is crazy. On this day, June 24th. Wait, what did it say? Today's June 24th. Yes, sir, it is. So, today in history, featured event, featured biography, blah, 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 blah. I thought I was at the bottom, but I wasn't. We're going back to 1497. John Cabot became the first European to set foot in North America since the Vikings. He probably thought he was the first first European ever. And so
probably thought he was the only person there because I don't think he saw anybody when he first landed. He thought, I'm only the first human being to be here.
Yeah, I know, right? And he was in North America. I think John Cabot is the forerunner, the forebearer of Henry Cabot Lodge, a famous Massachusetts politician who got us involved in Vietnam. So he could have done without that progeny. I say Henry Cabot Lodge ran against John F. Kennedy for Senate, right? And Kennedy beat him. Lodge was a Republican. And then when Kennedy got in office, he appoints Henry Cabot Lodge to be the ambassador to Vietnam. What a big mistake that was. And that's a guy who, hey, we have to stage a coup. Anyway, John Cabot had nothing to do with it, but if he wouldn't have, that series of events, who knows, right? Vietnam wouldn't have happened. 1519, Theodore Beza, an author, translator, educator, and theologian. He was born. He succeeded John Calvin as the leader of the Protestant Reformation, centered in Geneva. We've been there. Geneva. They got a big lake. And Frank Zappa and the Mothers had the best place around. And some stupid with a flare gun, you know what he did? He burned the place to the ground. But this is way before Theodore Beza was born in Geneva. In 1795, I'm sorry, way after, maybe 470 years after. 1795, William Smellie, that's his name, Smellie, Smellie. How would you pronounce that? Smellie. William Smellie, a Scottish compiler of the first edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Yes, he was smelly, so he spent a lot of time alone. Died at the age of 55. What did he die of? We don't know, but let's see. Would have been 1850. Probably some kind of plague. I don't know. We hadn't invented antibiotics yet. 1812, French Emperor Napoleon. You heard of him? Who had massed his troops in Poland in the spring to intimidate the Russian Tsar Alexander I, and 600 troops of his grand army launched an ill-fated invasion of Russia. Oh yes. Don't forget, he had his Waterloo. He never really did conquer Russia. That was a waste of his time. Here's the thing, Napoleon, you were doing good until you wanted to conquer the world. Get your head out of your ass. You aren't that great. You don't own the world. There's no way to own the world. I will quote System of a Down, right? How do you own disorder? You don't. You can't own disorder. I love that song. 1821. South American patriots under Simón Bolívar defeated Spanish royalists on the plains near Caracas, Venezuela, in the Battle of Carabobo. And if you look at almost all South American money, you will find a picture of Simón Bolívar because he freed the native people from the Europeans. They hoped, but that never really happened. 1859, the Battle of Solferino, the last engagement of the Second War of Italian independence, was fought in Lombardy. And Lombardy Trophy is named after it. No, it's not. It's named after Vince Lombardi. I'm telling you false news. I'm a smart ass. 1932, the promoter revolution, a bloodless coup. I love a bloodless coup. I love bloodless anything. Unless it's a butcher shop, then there's going to be blood everywhere. The promoters revolution, a bloodless coup, overthrew Prajahapak, the king of Thailand, and he is a Prajahapak, the king of Thailand, ending the absolute monarchy in the country and initiating the so-called constitutional era. I believe Thailand has never been colonized. I think that's true. I'm not sure. What's that? I didn't hear that.
You made a bad joke. You're a bad joke about the butcher shop. Was
Thailand
kind of ever colonized? I'm pretty sure they were colonized. They probably weren't colonized by Western powers, but they were definitely colonized by other local things.
Well, no, powers. They had themselves an absolute monarchy. They tend to be colonizers.
They weren't. I'm just saying they weren't colonized by Europe, but they were definitely colonized by Cambodia, Malay, Laos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there isn't a lot of European subculture into everything.
Or I should say, all those places used to be Thailand, the area of Thailand.
I need to go to Thailand.
They got taken away. They got taken away, like Laos and Cambodia, Northern Malay. They were all taken by UK and France. So then they're no longer part of Thailand, but they were originally part of Thailand. At least that's what it says here.
I need to go to more Asian cities.
In a way, they were colonized because their size was reduced by external powers.
Right. I need to see like Thailand and probably Singapore, some of them places I need to see. Hong Kong.
Yeah, just make sure you go there at the dry season, not the wet season, because you'll melt from the humidity. That's what I heard. What I
found from Japan, the more you wander from the main cities, nobody speaks English, and they don't give a fuck about your language at all. And
that's okay.
I found that in Okinawa. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Tokyo, you can speak English all you want.
I think it's changed now because there's way more tourism in Japan than back then.
Well, I was in Okinawa. Like you go to Okinawa City, English. Kinville, or it was just called Kin. English. You go up to Nago, nothing in English. Nobody's gonna talk to you in English. If you speak English, she might kill you. I don't even know. But either way, you get the cold shoulder. No, they wouldn't do that because the Marines would come in. But 1947, American businessman Kenneth Arnold saw a number of objects flying like saucers. That's right. What did he call them? He called them flying saucers. While piloting a small plane over Mount Rainier in Washington, he was hallucinating from lack of oxygen. Don't forget, 1947, they did not have sophisticated airplanes with sealed cockpits necessarily. They knew they needed oxygen, but maybe had too much oxygen. But anyway, he probably saw the reflection of something off a volcano or something. He thought it was flying saucers. Or it was a government experiment, and it was considered the first modern sighting of UFOs and gave rise to the term flying saucer. He probably saw his own reflection. A lot of these pilots do that. 1948, the Berlin blockade intensified when the Soviet Union announced that the Western Allied powers no longer had any rights in Berlin. So it was time for the Berlin airlift and the Marshall Plan and all that good stuff, because you know what? We bombed Berlin into the Stone Age along with Russia. Russia did most of the damage in Berlin. Let's not forget that. And they said, Berlin is ours, motherfuckers. We killed Hitler. And
they really didn't.
They put up the Berlin Wall, the famous Berlin Wall. 1987 football. Our player Lionel Messi was born in Argentina. Very fitting. We got a lot of stories about Argentina today. It's almost all about football, Argentina, and what a day! Because happy birthday to Messi, one of the great players of all time. He is turning not quite 40. He's only 39, so he's still playing. He is still playing. So he's still probably might even still be their best player. It isn't like you lose skill. Your body just falls apart. 2010, Australian politician Julia Gillard was sworn in Australia's first female prime minister. And by the way, when I was 39, I didn't feel like my body was falling apart. Not at all. And I wasn't a professional athlete. So we got that out of the way. Happy birthday to, happy sworn-in day to Australia's first female prime minister. She has that Australian look. If I looked at, and I don't get ethnic with anybody, because ethnic Australians are actually black people, but she looks Australian. She doesn't look British. She has that look. I'm just saying. I don't know what it is. Like she knows something you don't know. 2022, in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, the Supreme Court invented a new rule. Women have no rights. So that's what happened on this day. So it's been 4 years since you lost your right to your own body. Congratulations, all you idiots that keep voting for that. Hey, ain't my problem. I'm a man. But you're a woman. I'm just trying to... You're a woman and you voted against your own rights. Okay. Just because somebody might abuse it, right? Somebody might abuse a right, so it's not a right anymore. Isn't that weird how that works? How come that doesn't work with free speech? Oh, it does now. It does now because we have fascism. So 4 years ago, 1 year after Joe Biden was president, he could have changed the rules. He could have said, hey, Congress, let's make it Supreme Court 13 Supreme Court justices and appoint 4 and say there was nothing in the Constitution that limits the amount of Supreme Court justices. We have more circuit judges now than ever. He could have expanded to 13. There is nothing in the Constitution that limits. Joe Biden tried to, after January 6th, something had to be done radical, and all he did was appoint Merrick Garland, who is basically useless. Everything Merrick Garland did, his entire freaking tenure as Attorney General, has been reversed because he forgot to lock up Trump. 4 years to do it, he did nothing. He appointed a special prosecutor, 7 or 8 months later. Not like, hey, let's prosecute people right away. So, again, 2022, in the middle of that garbage, we got Dobbs, which is, again, if you're a woman and you vote for Republicans, I have no idea why you think you can't make your own decisions. I have no idea who you are or why you're like that. You don't trust your own decisions. Way to go, idiots. Yeah, that's all it is. I don't trust my own decisions. I need the government to decide for me. That's what Dobbs is. Make no mistake about it. It's government overreach telling you what to do with your body. No doubt about it. You have no rights. You have no rights. You are a second-class citizen. You are a zero second-class citizen. And the more of us there is every day, by the way, there's more zero-class citizens in this country every day. It's women, minorities, immigrants. Pretty soon, it's going to be everybody that doesn't have money. And I'm not looking forward to it. There's your fun little note for today. Birthdays today. Jack Dempsey, born in 1895, is American heavyweight boxing champion. Feature event. Forgot the feature event. This is a weird thing. This is great for Weird Wednesday because I said, wow, maybe I should have just reported on this. The outbreak of the dancing plague on this day in 1374, men, women, and children gathered in the streets of Aachen, Germany. I think we've been there now. Danced as if in trance. They continued for hours, even days, moving until they collapsed from exhaustion. This was the earliest widely documented and worst major outbreak of choromania, the dancing plague, a form of mass psychogenic illness. Other outbreaks occurred elsewhere in Europe in later decades and centuries, but no other major cases of choromania have been reported since the mid-1600s. They're just called happy feet now. I've got happy feet. So everybody had happy feet on this day, 1374. And we know the exact date because there was people writing down their diary. Dear diary, June 24th, 1374. Everyone has lost their fucking mind. That's every entry.
I still got my mind mostly.
More birthdays today. Unfortunately, we got more. Hopefully, we don't get too many serial killers. We did Jack Dempsey already. It is Sir Fred Hoyle, British mathematician. In 1915, 1894, we said hello to Varagari Bankagiri served as a president. Oh crap! I gotta click on a frickin' link to get the rest of the story. I'm gonna guess India. I'm gonna guess India with that name. President of India from 1969, 1974. Hello. That was not a lucky guess. I could guess by his name. It was either India, Pakistan, or something. Anita Desai is an English language Indian novelist born in 1937. Let's try to find somebody anyone's ever heard of. Jerome Bonaparte, Napoleon the first youngest brother. He was born on this day in 1784. Hey, bro. What's up, bro? Did you know he had a brother named Jerome? Jerome had that plague of being a famous guy's brother. You know, could never quite up. He had the Jim Belushi plague, right? Anyway, there's your stories, your biographies, your mispronunciations, your limericks for today.
Did you do National Day Calendar? Oh, he's gone? He just left in the middle. What happened there? Did he accidentally hang up on Discord? Anyways, I didn't even hear if he did the National Day Calendar at all. But it is National Take Back the Lunch Break Day. So if you're not taking back your lunch break, do it today. National Pralines Day, which pralines are good. I like pralines. I have to say, maybe I'll make some. What do they require for an ingredient? Not that much, I think. Yeah, pralines are nice. They'll probably just melt though. National Patch Day. So go to the Ashford Forest in South England and go get your patches, because they're giving out patches for all the activities you can do in the forest. National Parchment Day, which is something people write on and also use to cooking parchment, of course. I remember there was like a whole drama a couple years back where like it causes cancer, everything causes cancer. Cook on parchment paper, it keeps your dishes clean. And National Swim a Lap Day. So if you are not already enjoying that lovely watery cold water in this hot summer, go swim a lap in somewhere. I mean, I have the canal I can go swim in. I don't know if the water is warm enough yet though. I think the water is still quite cold, but I think it's nice to feel when this hot weather. National Parchment Day. Oh, I've actually made this. The picture on the National Parchment Day is like a fish. I forget what this is called, but you can put like fish in the parchment and it kind of just like gets cooked in its own juices inside of the parchment paper. It's really good, actually. It's a really good way to eat fish. I'm gonna do the outro. I don't know if my dad's ever gonna. I don't know if did I hang up or did he hang up? No, I'm still here. Where did he go? Oh, he got moved. He doesn't even know I got moved. Hello?
There.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted everything you said and I did it for you. I don't know what happened there.
What are you talking about? Where was I?
You hadn't done the National Day Calendar yet, and you were doing an outro too early. You were doing your outro, but you hadn't talked about the National Day Calendar.
Okay, so it's National...
I already did it. You weren't here, but really? I already read the whole thing. Yeah, because I don't know what happened to Discord. So I didn't want to wait any longer, right? We should end the show while we can, not wait 10 minutes for it.
Well, you missed my comment about National Take Back Lunch Day. Really? Oh my God.
Well, I had a comment too. Yeah. What did you say? Go ahead. Share it with the class.
I don't know what National Take Back Lunch Day is, but the best lunch to me, just eat at your desk. Or if you just don't go to a restaurant. First of all, I guess you just like screwing your company out of their time. That's your deal. Go ahead and do it. But you're just gonna wait 20 minutes to get served, and then you get to eat, and then you gotta go back to work.
Maybe that's the idea. Maybe the idea is that you should take back lunch, as in make it longer. Have an hour and a half long break.
And then you get fired for being non-productive. You get fired for being non-productive. My thing would be
the point is to make it a social norm so that they can't fire you for it because it's expected. You have to change
Yeah,
society.
exactly. Just, make your company fail by making your bosses.
I don't think a lunch break is
like
going to
I'm
make
saying,
people
it's
fail.
not
It's actually
productive.
increases productivity to have a lunch break.
I don't think so. I don't think you do
longer lunch
anything
break.
after lunch. I don't think
That's
you
what
do
it
anything.
says here.
No work gets accomplished after lunch. Nothing gets happened. You make notes about what you're going to do in the morning.
I'm just saying.
The best thing
that's
to
what the studies say.
best thing to do for lunch is take a half-hour lunch break, get it out of the way, and get home early. And then eat all you want and go take a nap there. Because taking a nap at work just doesn't do you any good. It might feel good, but no, you're not getting anywhere. I'm just saying, a normal job, you wouldn't get you anywhere. But if you like bribing your boss, take your boss to lunch. I don't know. Anywho,
I guess this is just a
that's all I-
cultural difference because Americans,
That's all
are like that.
that's everything on
People,
before
I
prowling.
mean, plenty of people in Europe, at least, take lunch breaks that are very long, and then they come back to work and they're more productive because they got a break to talk and socialize with co-workers and eat some food and digest their food. God forbid.
Sure. Just go
Take a
home
walk.
afterwards. Just go home. Just because you're not going to do any work.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That they do work after lunch. So that's I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't eat during lunch, yeah, you will. But if you're eating, you will. Your body just goes. Especially the more you eat.
That means you're not getting enough food if you're having a carb crash.
No, it's just your body's digesting food and use your brain chemicals
go
for
for
that,
a
and it's
walk.
like I don't want to stay awake anymore. Anyway,
give
that's
you
why
enough
my
sleep, I
body
think.
works. There's all kinds of variables in everybody's life. My point being, your boss probably doesn't like it, and it's probably gonna get you fired. But
No, it's normal
whatever.
in Europe. So it's international. Oh, did we talk about yesterday's International Day? I think I forgot because I don't remember talking about these. Yesterday's International Days were United Nations Public Service Day. So these are the people who are doing the smaller jobs in the United Nations, like talking, helping people, I don't know, making sure things are working in the UN. So celebrate the civil workers in the UN and the people who volunteer to help the UN. But the public service, they're pursuing careers in the public sector. First awarded in 2003. They actually give people an award, the United Nations Public Service Awards. You can go to this guy helped collect food for people in Gaza. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
It's
man.
also International Widows Day. So if you are or know somebody who was married and then their significant other passed away, I guess in this case it's usually a widow is a woman. Which sadly there's a lot of society, a lot of cultures that rely on having a husband to be able to do anything in your life. So being a widow actually makes your life harder because you need a man. It needs to be worse in a lot of Western society too, right? You needed a man to do everything. So if you weren't married, you had to get married again, because widows had it tough. Respect to all the widows out there. Today is International Day of Women's.
A lot of times the widow had a lot of property. Don't forget that. So it was easy to get married. Anyway.
It's also International Day of Women in Diplomacy. These are the women who are working in diplomatic fields and making sure to challenge the inclusivity, just, and resilience of diplomacy. Because, women can bring a particular point of view, or different minorities can bring a different point of view to diplomacy. So it's very important to keep that diverse. Yes, keep it diverse. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. As we tie up another Wacky and Weird Wednesday, I hope you've enjoyed all the wacky and weird things that are going on around the globe. Make sure to count your ducks and pay attention to your Tasmanian devils. We will see you tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. We'll see you tomorrow for Thursdays 13, in which we will... Thursdays 13, which we'll have a list of 13 things on the list. And argue and talk about it and discuss it. Oh.
I'll tell you what it is. I was just looking. Well, there's a lot of anniversaries that happened recently. The anniversary of one of the greatest double albums in history, Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan. So we're going to do the top 13 songs from that album. What? Yeah, that's right. 13 songs. This is a double album. That's why it's
There's
one
a
of the
lot of
best
songs
albums.
on the album. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
13 great songs, actually. So, anyway. Just saying, it's one of those albums like, yeah, I can listen to this start to finish. Even the bad songs aren't that long. I mean, I don't consider them bad songs. They're just... Did I do a dad joke? I mentioned Bob Dylan. You even have that on your card?
You just did the quack, the one about keep all your ducks on whatever the duck joke you just did.
Oh yeah, ducks are all yeah. My short-term memory loss kicking in.
We will be back for Thursdays 13. Thank you everyone who is already following the Before Coffee Podcast on Twitch and subscribe to the Before Coffee Podcast on YouTube. If you miss any episodes of the live stream, they're available on YouTube later in the day. So if you're not already subscribed or following, please do that so we can get that number up and more support for anti-AI news. Thank you to everyone on Patreon who's supporting Before Coffee Podcast under the Before Coffee Podcast tier. And here is our quacky and quirky mic drop moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is not it. Give me a sec. I forgot to put it in.
Oh,
I transferred it to my computer, but I didn't put it in the actual. Here.
I've got happy feet.
Oh yeah, that was my mixed metaphor, or my metaphor, by the way. It was
What?
The dancing plague spread like a wildfire in dry grass. That was my.
Oh, that's right.
That was
You
my
had that
metaphor.
metaphor. You forgot to do it. Oh, I got to applaud for that now. You know, we're going to do a mic drop moment. It's not the one you put up, the one I sent you about the duck. Not Howard the Duck. Not Daffy the Duck. Not Donald the Duck. Merlin the mascot.
All right, and mic drop.
And your alliteration headline: Merlin is Mexico's mascot.
Duck, who wears the Mexican national team jersey. And although he's not on the pitch,
Ducks are fun, and I love when they wag their tails. That's also really cute. Their little waggy tails.
Wearing this perfectly fit jersey, this is Merlin the
That's more
Duck.
quieter than I thought it would be.
He's so famous in the last 2 weeks, and he was waddling through the streets during the celebrations in the opening match in Mexico City.
We were just working at the time. We
I
never
can just
imagined
mute it
it would
so I
go
can
so
hear you.
viral. We were walking down Reforma Avenue when a young woman filmed us, and that's when everything took off.
Everyone was like, "There's a freaking duck in a jersey."
His owner, ¿por
Yeah.
qué le pusiste Merlin?
I gave it that name
I
because it's
think I've
magical.
walked through those
You need
part
to
of
call it-
Mexico
Oh, it's
City.
his duck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the center.
Oh, he's so
You've
cute.
probably
Well, there's
been to
a
the center of
tomb
Mexico
right there.
City.
I think that tall
long
building
before
there might
social
be a
media
tomb of all the
discovered him,
priests or
Merlin
something.
was already a
It's right
familiar
next to the
face
hotel.
here in
But I might be
Mexico
wrong.
City's
It just looks like a lot of
historic
Mexico City.
It's surreal. It really represents
Yeah,
the lifestyle
I've been in
of
that
Mexico
part.
City.
That's where I stayed.
Mexicans always find creative ways to keep
Is it
Didn't
really
go
green
anywhere
there?
else.
It looks like there's a lot of trees. I love a green
Yeah,
city.
Mexico City
He has
has pretty high
millions of
elevation
views and
too,
fans counted in the thousands.
so it doesn't get the.
He draws smiles.
It has more of a temperate climate than
Look
a lot
at
of the
that. He is
desert.
a happy little duck.
From all over the world.
We have seen the duck in the
Hope he
city.
has water.
Yesterday it was. Yeah, we
Oh,
have seen
German?
the duck, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, they're in town for the World Cup.
Fun, it's okay.
Just confirming that they are German.
Unofficially,
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
who's curious.
become the ambassador
That is a German
by
accent. I wish I could do that one.
Yes, sir.
Merlin is now Mexico City's official FIFA host city ambassador.
I hope Mexico wins something and doesn't get eliminated. At least they get somewhere.
I like how they tucked in the sleeves so that they're not dragging on the ground. Oh, look at that. It's wearing its little foot.
Oh, man. That wasn't Spam, was it?
Proving that the biggest stars of the
Might have been
Looks like a
tofu.
watermelon. Looks like watermelon
Algae
to me.
burger. Oh.
Valeria Leon, CNN, Mexico City.
How well behaved is that duck? And with Mexico's
Way to
1-0
go.
win, by the way, over South Korea last night, the host nation has
Oh,
officially
really?
clinched first place in its group. They've still got one more
That's
game
exciting.
to play
I mean,
before
it's
the
Mexico,
knockout.
though,
All right,
so not really
so
surprising.
way to go, Mexico.
Next
Well,
Wednesday
yeah, I'm just
at 9
saying,
p.m.
way to go,
Eastern
Mexico. Upsets
India.
happen.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.
In hockey.